You're listening to the Drum Shed Podcast.
Welcome to the Drum Shed Podcast. Today we've got Dan Moss, or aka Mozziedrums, in the house, talking about some new exciting events. Welcome, Dan. How are you?
Hello, I'm very thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Oh my word, it's great. Yeah, so much going on. It's been a very hectic week, or shall I say, a couple of months. A lot been going on, roller coaster. But yes, mate. Thank you so much for having me, bud. Yeah, awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
no. Well, I mean, I've heard a lot about what you're getting up to and seen what you're doing, and you're covering that kind of Norfolk end, Norwich, Norfolk. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Mainly Norwich, but Norfolk definitely. A lot of a lot of miles to cover at the moment. Of circumstances definitely changed. It's jumping
Are
onto
we talking
this.
about that? Are we going to mention that?
Yeah, you can do. I'm sure it's not. It's kind of not new news anymore, is it? With PMT, with the redundancy happening and a lot of people losing their jobs, and it's still kind of a shock to me. Still kind of a heavy subject, definitely. Kind of
How long were you there?
I was there for almost 4 years. And I know most colleagues like Stu and Adam are there like 20 years, a long time. Obviously, before it was like sound control, Carlsberg, like before Play Music Today years. Been through loads of different motions. So I've heard all the stories and stuff as well. But yes, the fact that when it went, it happened like immediately. So in terms of like next steps. I was just like, what do we do now? And it was heartbreaking. It really was, because there was a lot to think about. Definitely was.
Yeah, and it's all too far. It's all sadly too much of a common story of waking up and turning on your phone, or suggest we turn it off. I mean, no one turns their phone off, do they? But wake up, first thing we do is look at our phone, and like in the drumming industry, the music industry, it's always that thing, It always seems to be someone famous has died. There's a war, or there's a drum shop shut down.
In that level, yes.
And it's like, I know which ones are. Well, anyway, the drum shop thing that we're focusing on, or music shop, in PMT's case, as it was more than just drums, but it's shocking, and it's actually it's shocking, but it's not. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's now becoming
weird
not.
Emotions. Yeah, the normality of it happening. You're like, yeah, okay, it's been more than one. There's a pattern now. But when it actually does happen, it's still a shock, because you see it. You've seen it every day. You see it online. You go into the stores, and and the fact when it closes so promptly like that, with like guitar and keyboard as well, and drummers on, and the Sound Attack, all of the amazing stores, and then
and
you
Foots
see
and Foots a little while ago,
of course, so many. There's so many to mention, many to mention, and it's a shock every time. Even though you're like, the industry's shrinking, it's worrying, and being the drum salesman of Norwich, of Norfolk, and a big part of East Anglia as well. People, when Sound Attack went, that was instant. Had emails and phone calls from Colchester. People go like, where do we go? And it started growing and growing, trying to find this place. And I was just like, wow, I've got a big responsibility here to try and at least grow my little drum area in Norwich, because I had loads of contacts and emails. So that was when Sound Attack went. That was immediate, like, right, I need to start doing more stuff. And and there was lots of things going on, but when the redundancy happened, that took a toll on me a big time. I was like, what do I do? What can because I had the idea of doing the business with Mozziedrums, because I wanted to do stuff more for the community. That's definitely my drive. Salesman, yeah, okay, but focus more on drives and drumming, and onto that section was definitely my enjoyment, and I'm so grateful that I took that on. and it's here we are with a debut event pretty much sold out in Friday, and more incredible news to come. So
yeah, so this podcast is being recorded on Monday, the 18th of August. And you've got an event on the 22nd of August, and I'm going to try and squeeze this one out in time so it's before the 22nd. So hopefully we'll get this one out, and not too much editing to be done, and that will get it out quicker. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about what's happening on Friday then. Or I mean, you just tell me about Mozziedrums, the whole thing, and the listener, obviously, because one of the things about excuse me, the podcast is or any podcast, it's about introducing people to things that we might think they know or they might have heard of. Sure. I remember I almost said colleague of mine, but a friend of mine who's a drummer, one of the Mike's Lessons guys, from the Mike's Lessons group or gang. He'd never heard of Jake or Into Music until he heard the podcast, and he lives probably about, I think, a couple of hours away, but nearer than I do.
Yes. And
it annoys me. I don't know where he is now. That because he actually, it's Nishan. He came into one of our episodes. If you go back and listen to that one, he'd not heard of it until the show. I didn't know of the of an event going on in Maidstone, which isn't too far from where I live, with the Buddy Rich band, or not with the band, but with Greg Potter. And I thought that'd be quite interesting to go just down the road and watch a little masterclass with, Greg Potter. I'd already seen him at Ronnie Scott's with the band and Benny Greb. But I'm hanging out with Buddy Rich's daughter and Greg and meeting new people, and I wouldn't have known about that if it wasn't for the Drum and Drummer podcast. Yeah. So hopefully, this whole talking about things and people listening will just get people to know more. So
absolutely, that's so important. It's about people. It's about and the amazing thing is about the drum community, compared to any other community I know in the world, is like we are quite close. We're quite tight as a group. And I noticed that very fast. Just going into music industry, not only as a salesman, but as drum maintenance stuff. For my business, and we all connect very quickly. It's like, check out my drum kit, that stuff, but it kind of builds up to.
Yeah, there's not much rivalry, is there? There's not. No. Doesn't seem to be as much rivalry. It's more. No.
What have you got?
Yeah, let's show me yours. I'll show you mine. But also, there's. I was talking to a drummer on WhatsApp today, as a friend of mine, Aria, who's been in on the show, another Mike's Lessons person as well, and we're talking about some new gear that she wants to get, and she's in the market for some vinyl cymbals, and she's blaming me for that, which maybe not just me, maybe people like Mike and
of course,
artists. Yeah. But yeah, we're she's asking me about, what do you think about that, or and it's just always talking about gear and encouraging people to either get practicing or joining bands or jamming or buying gear or going to shows.
Totally,
it's a nice group of people.
Yes, very lucky to be in this industry with amazing drummers such as yourself, and connecting, and it's so important, especially in this world at the moment, actually talking to people face to face. And I think it's a good time to get those clinics and those events back in. So away from redundancy and making my own business, there was definitely more to that. Especially like Norfolk. my area, I was like, I need that more than ever. Let's make something happen, and loads of people got together. I'm not taking really much credit apart from I've just gone, I'm just going to put this event, what do you think? And then phone calls to emails to people talking about it to community. Everyone came along together to make this happen. That's what I love about it, and that's why I want to continue to do that, because it's wonderful. And what's happening on Friday it's called the Drum Hang for a reason. You're just hanging out with drums and watching amazing performances, get inspired, getting involved. the competitions, the raffle.
Follow us on Instagram.
Is overflowing
Drum Shed
with
Podcast.
donations, amazing people,
Thanks
amazing
for
products.
listening.
Yeah, just shout out to all of them. I've got a whole list. You can check out on my socials. I've been on about it so much, but yeah, I can go on about it.
Where's the socials? Let's just not assume.
Yes, so Mozziedrums on Facebook, on Instagram, on my website is mozziedrums.co.uk. Everything's all under Mozziedrums, and including the drum hang tickets, and that's pretty much sold out now. So there's a few left if you can grab hold of them. I'm also in Helsden, which is my hometown, which is even more awesome, in Norfolk. So Helsden Community Centre on the 22nd of this week, the Friday.
And for everyone out there listening and not able to see any Instagram thing whilst you're driving, listening to it, it's Mozzie.
Yes,
drums.
that's right.
And yeah, so we'll and have you got a website, or is it just through the social services? Social services? What did I say? Social services. That's my other job coming in.
But it's mozziedrums.co.uk. So my website's on there with the events, the drum lessons, the maintenance services I do, the workshops that are yet to be announced. Like I think I'm going to start doing that next year. So more workshops and stuff, which is amazing. And the way things are going, it was going to be a local community thing, Norfolk based. So any East Anglian people, hello, come see me. But I think we might gradually branch out because I've got lovely contacts in each part of the UK, and hopefully we can branch out and do events elsewhere too. But starting small, but it grew very quickly. Hence, I could branch up to Thomas Lang, by the way, still trying to. It's like, my brain is still fried how we managed to sort that out for September.
So this is a big deal. So on the Saturday, the 6th of September 2025, you've got Thomas Lang. Pretty big deal.
It's a pretty big deal. And that was just a lovely little email saying, I heard you're going to UK Drum Show. I heard you're popping into UK for a bit. We need something happening in Norfolk. What can we arrange something at some point? Pleasure, blah blah blah. And he went back to me, and I think my email went in the junk mail. Or you can imagine how busy he is, and he went back to me like, "Oh yes, there's a dates I'm free," and I was like, "What?" He got back to me. That's amazing, and it built up from there. And he's a lovely guy, really eager to do events for local community. I think last time he was in the waterfront in Norwich when I was a teenager. Crikey, years ago. Well, over like 20 years ago. It's a long time ago. But it's he said he hadn't been in Norwich for a long time, so it's well overdue. So it's going to be amazing. He's going to do a masterclass at one of my favourite local venues, the Brickmakers. And Claire's, and I've been talking to Claire, the owner, and she's been so accommodating and brilliant and really hyped about it too. We managed to do a meet and greet as well at 5 till 6 because a lot of people are gigging. It's on a Saturday, so that was another gamble. Like, we've got to grab him before it's too late. And so it was all hands on deck. It's all going, and crazy.
Nice. I've got I've got a mate from Norwich who's at Anderton's.
Yes,
and he was talking about. He was saying he was from Norwich before we talked about this, and I haven't been to Norwich probably since my friend went to UEA.
Oh, okay.
Bearing in mind, and I didn't go. I just went to get drunk on the weekend in his student house.
UEA, yes.
That would have been the 90s, though. Right?
Okay. Yes.
And I mentioned something, and I was really surprised and pleased to hear that this young lad that I'm talking to, that's probably not much over 19 or 20 or whatever, he reckoned the thing I mentioned still exists. So I said, "Oh, we'll just pop down to the Reindeer and have a red nose."
Yeah,
and
the Reindeer.
That's still there, is it? That's the pub.
It is, and really thriving with rock music and any It's a studio music venue. The burgers are amazing, by the way. The food's good. Yeah, man. It's still great. And what I love about Norwich, it's, there was some, obviously during COVID, we won't mention too much about COVID. Yeah. That's a whole different world. But yes, it's, venue shrinking and stuff like that, and brickmakers almost went, lease renewed, that type of stuff. And yet again, community, getting together, making petitions and new ownership, and getting stuff sorted, and they're thriving as well. And what a great time to bring Thomas Lang in a venue. Bring it all back. It's just everything coming together this year was fantastic. After all the weird stuff happened.
Light
so
and
good.
shade, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, but
yeah.
When you get people together, you can do a lot. This was a couple of months. Well, not even a couple of months. We did the redundancy. Like, these two events have grown, and in such a short amount of time, I was like, oh my word, I wasn't expecting it at all. But I'm so grateful. I'm so entirely grateful for this big jump in my new job, as it were. It's wonderful. It's so great.
So the first thing will be a drum hang on the 22nd.
Yes.
In a different venue, not in that venue. That was where.
Yes. It's the Helsden Community Centre in my hometown, literally around the corner from where I live in Helsden.
Cool.
Yes.
And then the second one is at the Brick.
The Brickmakers.
Oh, yeah.
Brickmakers in Norwich. Yeah.
Oh. And that's on the 2nd. That's on the 6th of September.
6th. Yeah, on a Saturday.
And that's with Thomas. But that's a different type of vibe, because that's a masterclass, is it?
Yes, that's a more intimate, really professional kind of want to learn some good stuff. The first one is a family-based kind of introduction to drums. And Thomas is the Thomas Lang, almost like the luxury experience in a. Yeah, it's just it's they're both under the Drum Hang series of 2025. I'm actually, to be announced, doing a Christmas one too. So I'm getting these Drum Hang series now, and it's working out really cool. This was on the fly. This just happened, and I was like, this is working out really nicely. So I've decided to do that, and it's kind of working out. It's almost like a hangout kind of series of different things.
It's I mean, anything around the country. I mean, I tend to travel all over the place. So, Zach Grooves did. He's done 2 clinics at Drum Shop in Newcastle.
What a guy!
Washington Town and where. So both times I've driven up there, and I've known Andy for years and bought loads of stuff from him over the years, and consider him a friend. And Archie loves Andy. He's known him since he was down here. Chap. And
amazing.
I think Andy first met him at the 2015 London Drum Show and gave him a free T-shirt, and after that Archie was best mates with him.
Yes.
So I'd never been to his shop, so Zach arrives, and I'm like, it's only 5 hours, isn't it? I went up there on the night and came back on the same night.
Wow. Yes.
And then we did it again. Last time I interviewed Jack. I'm getting all my words in the mucking fuddle today. I interviewed Zach briefly before he went on, and we've got one of those that's on video actually on our YouTube channel as well. But I've travelled up there. I've gone over to Bristol, not Bristol, Bath, to see Mike a couple of times. Mike and Eddie. I'm just quite happy to travel, and obviously the Liverpool Drum Show is a bit of a trek.
Yeah.
And Jake, I go up and down to Jake sometimes and go and see Into Music and do some trade-ins with him, or buy some bits from him, or his big drum day.
Yeah.
And when I can get down to Graham, the problem is working on a Saturday is that if they have an event on a Saturday, it's a bit difficult. But I remember Graham Russell's birthday bash. So literally, any direction really, I'm happy to travel to. But it's really nice. There's nowhere to go if people like you aren't doing these things. So, and the artists, when they come over for other gigs or for the drum show and that, obviously making the most of that time they're over if they come from a long way in particular.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And
you made you made a really valid point as well about traveling as well. I'll definitely address, because when it comes to supporting your local stores and things like that, sometimes I, as opinion for myself, and it shows as well for yourself, traveling to vital stores, making those connections, finding your perfect kit, or going to a clinic, take that day and go to those events, because they are lifetime experiences that you will always remember, and it's worth it. I know a lot of people will see stuff online, which is so easy to do these days, but to travel and go different places, seeing people, I think we need more of that. And that's why I said recently in this podcast about, like, I want to branch out a bit more. It's because I want to do that too. I want to kind of, go to see into music more. Jake is been so amazing, and he's kind of my closest drum store, along with Rubik's Drums, along with Graham Russell so far, and I still need to go there. Also Liverpool's far away for me, but you're there for a couple of days and it's incredible. So
it's a holiday, isn't it?
It's
the
a
event of the
holiday.
year.
Yes, exactly. And having those experiences, like, even there's a lot of people when I was in PMT, they wouldn't travel. Someone was either in Ipswich or Colchester, and they're like, oh yeah, but you're so far away. I was like, yeah, but this is, especially for your kid, got to go in those stores, experience the your first drum kit. It's nothing like it. With your guitar, anything. Football shirt. I don't know. Like,
maybe not football.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad I said that. I'm not a football.
I've really never been a football guy.
No, I can't.
I was playing drums when I took music to get out of sport. So I started off with saxophone at school, and that got a bit complicated, and I ended up with drums. But yeah, no, never been a football person myself.
I had football in the family big time. My dad had worked for the FA for many years. My dad is actually my idol. I love him to pieces. He's very sports. He's now a doctor, by the way. He's did his doctorate, and he's a doctor in sports psychology. That type of stuff is crazy. So for mentoring and all that stuff, definitely where I got it from. But he always led me to. He realised that music was my thing, and it was never pushed in the family. But I always saw football on the TV. It was always there. So I was naturally kind of like, but yeah.
I mean, you were talking about travel. Now, on Saturday, someone came in rang up to inquire about a double bass drum pedal. And wanted to try a couple out. Checked what I had in and stuff. And he said, he mentioned Wembley Drum Centre, which of course we haven't mentioned. And he goes, I used to go there, but they shut down and they've gone. And so he was coming from Hemel Hempstead down to Guildford. Now that isn't a million miles away.
Yeah.
But it's a decent drive.
Yeah.
And and we do have people coming down from Birmingham. We have people coming down from all over.
Yeah.
To come down to try stuff out and to support a shop. Yes. And I was just thinking about where I've been. I went to Drum Depot in Cardiff.
Right.
That was for a Mike Johnston clinic. The day after, I think I saw him at the UK Drum Show anyway.
Nice.
But anyway, that's not important right now. So down there, I've not been to Rubik's. I've not been to Rusty yet. I've not been to Cariad.
Yeah.
I've not been to Drummers Only. I've bought from Drummers Only. In fact, I'm getting a parcel tomorrow coming from Drummers Only. And I'm sorry for all the shops we're missing out on. And I have been to Newcastle one, and I have been to Graham a few times. Luckily, my job, which we won't talk about, I took on a new patch, which takes me from Croydon down to Southampton and Portsmouth and everything in between.
Right.
It's quite a big area. It's like South London down to the south, down to Southampton and to Portsmouth.
Sure.
One of the benefits is, I thought, hang on a minute. If I'm out and about and I happen to be in the Portsmouth area, well, I'll have to pop in, wouldn't I?
Yes.
And we are encouraged to sort of check out the wee stops and the breaks and places. So it's got a decent toilet. So I popped down to see Graham and might buy a couple of sticks or a cymbal or something, on the clock, and then claim the petrol. Anyway.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
But yeah, I think some people say to me, "Oh, yeah, I can't go there. It's too far." And you think, well, we are not going to have these shops if we don't. And we don't have to go to them. You can buy them online or over the phone, of course.
Yeah.
But I just see it as an adventure every time I get in the car and I do a 3-hour drive to a drum shop.
Yes, it's definitely part of the adventure. Is, as a kid, I couldn't imagine anything different. Just going to the store, like going there and kid and candy shop. Like, oh my word, seeing all
Yeah.
these lovely things. Back in the day, I had Norwich Drum Academy, which was the drum shop at the time. And that was beautiful, and they did clinics as well. They had like so many, but was it? Oh my word! Yeah, Steve White. There was also
Drumland. Steve
many
White
more.
used to go to a lot down in Dartford.
It was just
He's
it's just like whoa! There's so many things going on, and then it was just such a cool time, being a kid going to the stores, and then it's the fact that getting older and seeing them fade away. It's just like, no, because, like my son, he's 3, and still want him to go to a store and, whatever his thing's going to be, even though it looks like he's going to be a drummer, quite naturally, as you do.
I mean, you just met my son before we pressed record, and
it seems like it happens.
And like he's been playing drums since he's been sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
And he's just done a diploma. He's done his grades and all that. I mean, he hasn't done 8, he got to 6, but he's done his diploma in drums and heading off to university to do drums. So
Awesome.
that's the plan. And
That's so cool.
yeah, I mean that isn't me pushing him either. That's just having the drum kits there and going, do you want to have a go? Up to you.
Yeah, but like low
It's
key,
all
you're
there.
going, yes.
Yeah. But luckily he hates football as much as I do.
Yeah, it's
So
that's naturally awesome, isn't it, when that happens? And
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what his thing's going to be, and that's and if it's drums, that's great, but it's yet again about the future, the kids of the future, like it's having that experience. It's going to see those stores and grabbing your first drum kit and choosing your stuff, and even for the pros, even for people in your sound, grabbing and hearing the unique cymbals and stuff you want to have, and it's just that whole experience by itself. It's so important in your drumming life.
Yeah. I think cymbals in particular, because unless they're a certain brand, they're not all the same, are they?
Like Zildjian is so unique in the factory. Posty are pretty darn good with
They're
we
pretty
get crashing it.
consistent.
Yeah, they're very good. But
Istanbul's and the mine, or the Turkish ones, the Minor,
yeah,
Byzance and all that, they're all quite different, and weights and things like that. And
exactly that. And you'll find
yeah.
that hidden gem that just work with your set of cymbals at that time, and you won't know until you go into those places. And there's so much vital things about that, and the service that you usually get in drum stores, and just so good. Like you learn more things every time, and
I love it. I love the chat, to be honest.
Yes, exactly.
People can't believe someone came in the other day for a spring for what they thought was a Roland pedal.
Yes,
but it was just a pedal that came with a Roland kit, and it was probably an unbranded Millennium or whatever it was,
Yeah,
Tortec or something. And and the spring had broke, and it was a bit surprised I didn't have a spare spring. But I just went through the bins and found a spring and spent a bit of time looking for it.
Cupboard. I all missed that.
Put it together
have
and
something.
Yeah, and I gave it to him for free. He couldn't believe it, but you don't get that kind of service on online. The other thing about online is you don't necessarily list everything that's online, do they? There's other bits and pieces that they haven't necessarily listed yet, or they can't list everything. So it's good to have a little delve. Drum Shack's a good little little mystery cave in London, Lavender Hill. My son was in there today, actually. He went and bought some heads because he was doing a recording down the road, and the drummers ran out of, they needed new heads. So he texts me and goes, "Where's the nearest drum shop to me?" There's an app.
Yes. The closest drum store app. I love it.
Yeah. I said, we don't need to. There's not many to choose from in London now. You're going to have to get on a train and get over to Wandsworth. Go to Lavender Hill, which he did. So
the drum train, the drum bus.
I actually rang him up and said, would you courier on a bike some heads to a studio? And they said, we've never been asked that, but you could get an Uber to do it. But then that's another thing, isn't it? Like a drum courier. I mean, there's not enough business for it, I'm sure, but like a biking service to send a few. I thought, although they wanted a 22-inch bass drum head, so I think that might have been a bit of a struggle getting on the back of a bike. Be like wings.
Yes, glide your way like a, I don't know what. Like
anyway, look, we're chatting shit about drums, but
yes.
So Mozziedrums, your two events you've got at the moment. So you've got the one on Friday. Get my words right, Matt. And you was mentioning before you've got Into Music involved in that.
Yes, Into Music are going to bring on their pop-up store, promoting their hire by Into Music as well, their hire gear, which will be very much involved in our event. Really grateful. Shout out to Jake, the nicest guy on the planet, and the most accommodating, the most supportive guy I've met like in a long time. He's incredible. So big shout out to Into Music, honestly. You got to go. You got to check them out. They're so good. So yeah, they're going to be there, which is going to be amazing.
Mention Ben as well.
Yep. So Ben at Promark and Evans is going to have a store, really fancy stall. So all the new products, exciting products to be announced as well, and stuff, including the new tiny EQ pods, which are fancy. The 5AB sticks, all of those stuff, and the HD dry section, all those stuff that you can, the new things. So pretty much like a demo store, and they're a big part, obviously, because the artists Darby Todd and Jamie the Drum Cat Murray is coming and doing amazing drum clinics on the day. So other brands to mention as well, obviously Zildjian. They have donated loads of limited edition jackets for the raffle, which is super cool. Top Banana Drums, MJ has been absolutely incredible. We have like the drum caddies. We also have like the lug locks also, and also I think they're the drum chocks as well. They're there too. We've got Drum Buddy as well involved. We have Protection Racket, which has the cymbal cases, accessories, wallets. Like they've thrown them in there too. Obviously, Promark and Evans are a big part of it as well, like in the raffle.
Sonar? Steve?
Sonar, yes, of course, Steve. So 150th anniversary. There's so many like brands and people involved in one room, and it's so great. So we're gonna have, I think, Jake is bringing the 150th anniversary snare to the event for you to try out and potentially buy if you want to have that opportunity, because I have one left, I believe. So that's going to be at the show, which is really cool. And I'm going to be representing Sonar Drums as well on the stage. So that's going to be super cool. So I'm really grateful for that. It's, I believe it's a Seafoam Green SQ2.
Oh.
Yes, it will be. I was going to go to Jake because it's it's going to be incredible. So yeah,
on Saturday when it was a bit quiet, me and my colleague happened to stumble across the SQ2 build your own SQ2 page on the sonar.com website. And I configured my Seafoam SQ2. What I love about that little toy, that little app thing, is that you can move the drums where you want. So I was able to get my left-handed setup and move my drums around where I wanted them. And then we were choosing different colour snares and going, what would complement that snare? What colour would that? It was like, we don't want to have the match. Do we want to have a matching snare? Where do you sit on the matching snare? Is that against the law, or is that?
It's tricky, isn't it? That thing. I might tell you, it might not have been SQ2, but still, I'm saying it's an SQ2 for people who SQ1. Yes, I think it would be one of the hires. So it's gonna like take your pick, and it will surprise me. But it's definitely in Seafoam Green. But
I think I've seen it. I think that was an SQ1, but
yes, it could be an SQ1, but still, we'll find out on the day. To be announced. But honestly, it's going to be absolutely incredible.
I'll be wearing my thing. That.
Hey, you know what? I have one of them, but I recently found out I have like a latex rubber, an allergy,
an
allergy, and there was like a red mark. And I recently done that when I started doing my maintenance services and my gloves. come on, and my hand started flaring up red. I was like, no, so I can't wear it anymore. So I was like, damn it.
Well, there's the thing for Sona and Steve to take back that they need to make latex-free version of these. You can get latex-free gloves, of course.
Yeah, that's what I have to use. I get sweatbands. That's what I need. Sweat a lot.
This hasn't come off. Actually, I've got a couple of them, but
Yes.
I think I was cutting off a those paper wristband things you get when you go to a venue, a gig or something. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been a jazz cafe one we had. And I was cutting that off, and I accidentally cut this, which I was really gutted about. So I've got about 2 more. So I put that on. But to be honest, these just stay on my arm the whole time. I was in the sea in it the other day in Portugal.
Yes.
I was in swimming pools with it. I always seem to keep my little bangle things on, but yeah, luckily I haven't developed that. But that's something to take back to Sonar. Latex-free version of these, please.
That's right. I only recently found out. I was just like, I've apparently had it so long, and I've just like been like, oh, I just had a reaction to something, and then started realizing it's the band. It's like, that's so annoying. But there we go.
Oh, no, nightmare. So Steve will be there, and we're going to come. We're going to come and see you.
Yeah, that'd be so great. So great to see you.
I'm actually going to do some photos for you.
Quality.
And some video. So I just love getting involved in these sort of things as well. And you've got some merch you've had. Made.
That was literally a last minute thing. Because on my socials was like, would anybody be up for just some drum hang stuff? With the drum hang logo that I've created, and got a lot of tote bags and a few limited hats. I only had about 10 of each made, and 50% were pre-ordered already, taken. So I was like, oh, okay, they're like snapback hats. They look great. They're embroidered, super cool. And I didn't go cheap with them. I got their proper luxury ones. I just had to. I love a good hat.
Yeah, I like a good hat. I'm a bit of a hat man. I've got the that's the Minor one.
Yeah, the Minor one. But I nabbed
really
that idea. Yeah, they're great though. That's a good old
cheap.
banger.
These are cheap Vistaprint ones for my drum shed. But I want to get, and I've spoken to your company. What was the company called? Did you?
Oh, crikey! You got me on the spot. Is it E? It's not EA, is it?
Hang on, it is something like that. I've got them on because they messaged me. Sorry about that. Where are we? Oh,
Workwear. EA Workwear.
Yeah, it might be the other account that I had them on.
But he's incredible. He got it done so fast.
Yeah. He replied to me because I've EA. Oh yeah, here we go. EA Workwear. You're right.
Oh, thank God! Yes, I got it right. Oh my word! I'm so bad with names, and there's so many companies. I'm just like, I won't miss anything.
It's so nice to meet you because I'm a nightmare with remembering names and.
I have to do this.
Lyrics
I have to remember.
And.
I owe them to remember at least. I always do the tags and stuff, so I remember myself. But yeah, they're so great, and they jumped on it and got it sorted. I will probably get some t-shirts done in the future events, so I know who to go to now. But yeah, and I wasn't really thinking too much about that, but what a great opportunity to have something, just represent the day. And so we've got little, tote bags and stuff. So if you've got your drumsticks, you'll have the Drum Hang logo 2025 on there, something to remember. That type of stuff. And I know Into Music are bringing their own merch as well, like Save Local Music Stores and stuff, and Save Live Music. Very cool stuff. So they're on the way too, which is so much good stuff. Really cool.
I'm a nightmare merch fiend, as anyone that knows me knows. And Jake,
have you got the Minor socks yet?
Even a joking you, I've got about 20 pairs of Minor socks.
Yeah,
and I would show you right now.
Yeah.
I would show you, but I'm actually not wearing a pair today, which is very unusual.
They're all in the wash. Well,
it's just we got back from holiday and there is a bit of a wash going on. But it's quite funny when I walk down the garden to the studio.
Yes.
The washing line might have 10 pairs of Minor socks, and my wife likes to line them all up together.
Yes.
I've got one pair of black, and the rest of them are white. In fact, Jake, if you're listening, can you bring some more down? I'm going to message you.
More socks.
I need some more socks.
Snapbacks.
Unfortunately, I think my wife might have shrunk some of them. So
no.
But I shouldn't say that really because that sounds non-PC. But
Sucks.
I mean, I didn't, or the machine shrunk them. Sorry, but yeah, I'm a bit of a merch lunatic. I've got so many vinyl, I've got all the hats they make,
Yes.
and yeah, I think, do you know what? It's really nice when you've made a product up, it's easy to make a graphic to a degree. Most people nowadays can get on and do a graphic.
Yeah.
And to see it on a screen is kind of, normal.
Yeah.
But to see your logo on a business card or on a hat or on a sweatshirt,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the old big logo on the back.
Oh, the big back logos are just that's where it's at. Yes, mate.
And the point of that is, the brief is, if you're wearing one of these and you're at the drum show, or you're somewhere and there's a crew with cameras, turn your back.
Yes. That's it.
Turn away from them so you get a massive logo in the shot.
Exactly that.
It worked, actually. I made a YouTube, one of the YouTube UK shows. On the video was at the vinyl stand, funny enough, and the camera was going past, and I noticed it and turned and got the drum shed.
Yes, just jump in like photo bomb it. That's great. So good. Yeah, I like a big old logo on the back. Yeah, that's when I get a t-shirt design, it's got to be done. Big old logo on the back. Nice.
What I was thinking was the QR. You know where they have the North Face on the corner, on the back, on North Face. I was thinking of having the QR code.
Yeah.
Right.
To get people on the camera like
on your shoulder, so someone can come up behind you and scan you.
Yeah, can I give you a scan?
I don't know if it would work properly on a cloth. It might wear off, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I think I'd like anything else that you'd like to talk about that you've got coming up that you want to promote.
The big one is the Thomas Lang one. It's going to be difficult to pull off. It's going to be very exciting. I'm very nervous about it all because it's right in the deep end. I decided to go, yes, let's do it. It was like late notice. Like I've got about 3 weeks until it's, like under 20 days until it happens. I've sold about a quarter of the tickets, which is amazing. Long way to go, but get involved. If you're in the East Anglia area, want to come to a great venue with an incredible masterclass, come to the 6th of September on a Saturday. Get involved because it's going to be a big one. It's so great to have him here.
Absolutely. So it's when the doors open at 6?
Yes, doors open at 6, unless you want to get VIP tickets for a meet and greet. So you get a photo opportunity, you'll get an autograph and a Q&A behind a kit as well for an hour. So that's 5 till 6. If you just want to go to the masterclass, if you don't have a gig, that is 6 o'clock till 10 at Brickmakers in Norwich.
Do you want to say the price of the tickets, or do you want to leave that for them to look up?
You can look up, there's different options. It's like about £50 for the masterclass. And then you got the VIP if you want the masterclass, and the VIP experience like 150. But I have looked at previous, these are affordable options, believe it or not. So we try to get the price down. So no profit from me. It's all like, my challenge is to break even. So we make it happen. And it almost already from my previous event that's helped out. So the event I've got in the debut is almost helping this one out. So I'd be silly not to do this. I just would love to see the numbers there, get the people involved and have the experience. There's already been a couple of VIPs already coming, so they'll get the full-on experience of Thomas. And I've had a couple of calls with him, and he's the nicest guy on the planet. When he's my teen idol. And having a call goes, hey, it's Thomas Lang. I'm like, and as you do. And I was like, yeah, it'll be great to have a chat, mate, right now. And my kid's having potty training in the same room. And I'm talking to Thomas Lang on my phone, and he's there. We're just talking about the plans. A lovely guy. And there's my son Logan going, I did it, Dad. And he has a wee in the potty. And I go, oh, yeah, brilliant. And he says, Thomas laughing on the phone. And I was like, that's an experience I'm going to have. The first call with Thomas Lang while my son is getting potty trained and owning it. Yeah. I was like, and he gets it. He has kids.
I think that
so
is
funny.
But that's the human side of music and the human side of drumming.
Yes.
Industry, and just that I think people are fed up with the bullshit, and I think they like the humanist. I'm pretty overtly drum pissed, right?
Yeah.
I have a job in the daytime, Monday to Friday, which is not so happy, and which I go on about it not being happy, but I don't go into what it is. And the drumming side of my life has always, I mean, I started when I was like 16. It's always been around me. I've grown up with my uncle, who's a drummer,
Yes.
who's playing a gig on Thursday. He's 72. You know, he's been
Amazing.
playing jazz and all sorts for as long as I can remember. I remember hiding in his 22-inch LeBlond cases when he used to clean his drums and that.
Oh,
You
those
know,
little cases are the ultimate hiding place. Yes,
they were great. Yeah. It's always been around me. It's always been around my son, and it kind of cheers me up. And I buy a lot of drums. I'm waiting for a delivery from a second-hand kit I bought from Drum Shop while I was in Portugal on holiday. I was online at night and thought, I love
just
that.
get buying drums on your holiday. Brilliant.
I know. I did a podcast on holiday as well, and I got away with that as well.
That's commitment right there. Nice.
Yeah, and tomorrow I'm interviewing the guy that owns Groove Co, the Groove company that makes the drums in
That's
Portugal.
Cool. Nice.
I mean, I was in Portugal and now I'm here, but well, I'll talk a little bit about what it was like while I was out there with him. But he also had a drum shop in Portugal, but I think he had to close down the bricks and mortar side, but keep it open as a online. But there's not a lot of drum shops going on in Portugal.
Right.
Benny Greb said to us recently that they shut the shop down in Hamburg, you know, and there wasn't a drum shop in Hamburg. This is not just about, you know, what's not happening in the UK. It's happening
Right.
everywhere.
It's just the industry, isn't it?
The industry, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, we've got to blame possibly us all being a bit lazy and wanting it delivered before we've even thought about buying it, you know, for free.
Big, massive companies you go to online, not necessarily mention companies, but they have turned it all of ease, click and go, you know, and it will get delivered in a few days. And that is the norm for people now. And, you know, and it's affecting everything, you know, just going out now as well. And I think the combination of that and COVID, that type of stuff was, you know, people would still try to get out of it, you know, and you know, it's tricky, and I know it's so easy, it's so good, but like communication with people, interacting with stuff, I think that's where we need to get together, and that's why drum events and any event in the world, you know, get people together is so important.
It is.
Of course, you can't click and collect a friend, or maybe you can when AI takes over.
You will
the world.
do soon, yeah. I mean, the nice thing is we think about the new generation. Well, my lad's, you know, like 19.
Yes.
If he could get a Cafe Racer or any version of a Natal kit because he loves Natal, if he could get it for 20 quid cheaper from G4 or somewhere else that we're not going to talk about, he who said that? He'd find out if Jake's selling it for 20 quid more or 50 quid more.
Yes.
He's buying it from Jake. He wants to buy from Jake, or he wants to buy from Andy, or he wants to buy from Chris. Because these are names of people that have got shops that we know, or Paul in Glasgow, or Lee in Wales, or Brett in Wales. Yes. You know, these are names of people, and it's important that we support Brett and, you know,
absolutely,
Mark in Drum Shack, and we can just drop people's names, and Mark at Rusty, and is it Alex at Rubik's? No, what's Rubik's name?
It's not remember. Alex. It's
begin with A, but I've not been there. And we used to support Pete and Scott and clearly, yeah, that, you know, and Rob in Foots. All these names of I saw Rob. I'm going to stop going on. I saw Rob in 2015. I hadn't seen him since I was 16.
Yes.
Maybe 17, 18. And I hadn't seen him. He offered me a job. I was going to work for them years ago.
Yeah.
When Alan worked there, when he was leaving. And I hadn't seen him. He said, "Hello, Matt." He recognised this bald old geezer. I mean, I wasn't much different 2015, probably a bit skinnier. But, and he looked no different, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're still here. I mean, obviously he's not now, but, or the shop isn't anyway. But it's a lovely community, and I think people like you that are putting energy into it and keeping it going should be supported. So I'll travel 3 hours up to Norwich.
Bless your heart.
We'd come and see you. We'll do what we
Much
can to
appreciated.
promote what you're doing. Archie will do some decent photos and all that, and
So grateful. Thank you. That's so cool.
he loves it all, and he's very excited. He's very excited that Ben and Jake and Steve are going to be there as well.
That's some incredible people
part of the family,
involved.
isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they are such a cool family together. Like, you know, having them all in one room is going to be wild. And what to mention as well, that the Darby and Jamie apparently together, like joint to the hip. Apparently, there's the act together. They're so great, you know. And I haven't seen them in the same room. Apparently, they met each other at a drum show, and apparently, they're such a good laugh. So, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be such a good.
I look forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Yes, mate.
What you? Just one last thing. You going to the UK drum show this year?
I wish I was. I'm not this year because I'm actually doing a couple of weddings. I'm playing a few gigs, and also just financially, like I've got so much going on at home that I need to do. And I'm gutted because Eli's going to be there. That's incredible. Some massive names. Greg Bessonet as well. Yeah,
Greg's there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm so devastated I can't go because I was going. You know, I had a good streak, and you know, but
we saw Greg.
It's going to be a blast.
We saw Greg last year at the drum show. He was around. He was definitely there. But we also saw him down at Bournemouth at Absolute Music. He did a clinic there with Dixon because we know Paul from Dixon.
Yes, Dixon are a cool company.
That's my little rumor in the background. Which I asked them to make me that color because they didn't.
I mentioned, well, we've mentioned a lot about seafoam green. Is that a seafoam? Was that like
so?
I noticed this.
So the names are all, you know. So you have surf green in the Yamaha.
Yes, that's
you have
right.
Seafoam in a lot of other companies, I think, like Sona and also Natal.
That's right.
This is Neo Mint.
Of course, yeah.
When you put them together, they are one is green and one is more blue.
Right.
So the Yamaha is the surf green.
Yes.
Is more like the Seafoam Natal.
Yes.
And probably the more like the Seafoam Sona.
Yeah. That's it.
The Neo Mint is slightly greener.
Difference. All the greens and they're so cool.
I've got that one, and I've got the Dixon Cornerstone in that color as well.
Like that color just like blew up with even there's like a Roland Go keyboard that was like a seafoam green, and it's
Roland Go 3, Go Keys 3.
It was just everywhere, and that color just like popped, and it was cool. You know, it was just the Yamaha one. I've sold so many of the stage customs, and that, you know, that it was so cool. You know, like in that color, it was just like so popular. It's nuts.
Larnell did a few videos with the seafoam green.
Yes.
Martina Barakoska, to me, she was the one that introduced the seafoam green custom hip to me. So I bought not seafoam, surf green.
Yes.
So I bought that. I did sell it. I traded it in at Graham for something else because I knew I had this coming, and it's effectively the same size. Although the toms on this one is 10 by 7 and 13 by 11, I think, as opposed to 13 by 8.
Yes.
And 10 by 5. The hardware on the Yamaha definitely better, but this is that Grooves color.
Yes.
And kind of I'm a bit obsessed with that. He's a dude.
Beautiful. Yes, man. He's super cool.
Did you know why he wanted that color? Did you know the secret?
No, not at all.
You've got to listen to our podcast, or at least watch the 15-minute video.
Okay.
Actually, watch the video because I've made a cool little clip in the middle of it. But the secret as to why Zach Grooves has a Neo Mint drum kit can be found on YouTube under Matt F Drums. I think it's either you can put in Drum Shed podcast or Matt F Drums because it's kind of my old channel, but I've just hijacked it. Or you can listen to the podcast on Spotify.
Okay.
But there's a meaning why he has the brown wooden hoops on the bass drum and the green.
Okay. Oh, I'll check that out.
Check it out. I'll tell you afterwards, but I'll let the others lot who don't know so they can go and listen to my stuff.
Go jump, go look.
Anyway, excellent.
Yes, mate.
Well, I'll see you Friday.
Yes, mate, absolutely. And all your other people attending the events, thank you so much. All the brands I've mentioned, thank you so much as well. Big time. You've just changed my new adventure to something very special, and I'm really grateful. So thank you so much for having me, so I can just share my love to you all big time, including you, Matt. Thank you so much, big time. Really, really, just all the love, honestly.
No problem. Whatever anyone can do to make this, keep this ball rolling, I should say.
Yes, mate.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, thank you for coming in. That's Dan Moss.
Pleasure.
Your Instagram is Mozziedrums?
Yes, Mozziedrums on my Insta, and the website with all the events and all the things you need is Mozziedrums. .co.uk. Sorry, Mozziedrums.co.uk. That's the one.
Excellent. Right. Thank you very much. And
thank you so much.
Cut it right there.
Follow us on Instagram at the Drum Shed Podcast. Thanks for listening.